the sweet, sweet memories you gave.
Hi, and thanks for coming to watch this video from Carolina Varsity. We're covering the Western Regional Finals of the 4AA. And here we've got number 3 Vance, who just came off of a big overtime win over Butler, and going up to Greensboro to play number 2 Page, who just defeated Western Forsyth.
Yeah, I tell you, being there last week was something else, man. There was so much talent on the field, so many great plays being made between Vance and Butler. And I just have to commend both teams. What a show. Thank you for that. And then Page, they blew out West Forsyth like a lot of us expected, 49-14. Unsung heroes for these guys. For Vance, what else can you say? It's got to be defensive back Isaiah Eli Bembry. Made the play of the game with that interception down on the goal line with about 10 seconds left to pretty much save Vance's season. And then, in overtime, they got it done. And this guy for Page, Ronald Polite, wide receiver, had his own highlight that got a lot more notoriety. A beautiful one-handed catch that made it to SportsCenter, I understand. And it's up on the forum in the Vance Page thread if you hadn't seen it. I'm sure you've seen it. You can see it in a lot of other places too, but what a play. Yeah. Looking at it on the field, the keys of the game, Page offense, you got to look to generate big plays over the top of the Vance secondary. We saw Davis Cheek throw for over 400 yards last week. And you got to take advantage and emulate that, and you got a guy in Will Jones that can do that. Page defense, I think you got to identify the tendencies when Kingsley Afedi, the Vance quarterback, runs the ball in specific formations. There were a lot of coaches there Friday night, and I heard a lot of talk about when he gets into certain formations, they're going to run certain things. So I'm sure that's something Page can pick up on film and then put it together and get ready for Friday night. Conversely, for Vance on the offensive side, I think you open up with the same Butler plan and see what Page's plan is. And then you run your counters off of those same sets. And we all know Coach Aaron Brand's going to have something in store for everything he showed at Butler. He's got a counter coming off of it that makes him one of the best offensive play calls in the state. For the Vance defense, you got to make a decision. Page runs a lot of spread formations, a lot of trips especially. Are you going to man it or are you going to zone it? They played a good bit of man against Butler, and Butler ate it up. But can Page emulate that with those receivers is the question. And then can your inside blitz scheme slow down Javon Leak in the run game when he runs those inside zones and things like that? That's going to be a big challenge for the Vance defense.
Okay. Yeah, for me, in thinking about Page attacking Vance in the passing, it was more than Davis Cheek. It was more than Davidson in the Myers Park game. Mm-hmm. It was more than Latimer in the West Met game. What hurts Vance the most was big plays, and it was the guys being able to make big plays after catch of the ball. Right. And those kind of athletes are special. You don't hit them. Does Page have those kind of athletes is going to be the question. We'll find out Friday night. Some of the talk up on the forum seems to indicate they don't, but we'll see Friday night. Obviously, what can happen there.
You got a kid making a one-hand catch like that. He's got to be some kind of athletic.
Yeah, but that making one-handed catches and making cuts and running 4-4. Yeah. Those are two different animals.
I got you.
Yeah, so he's obviously a good ball player, no doubt, and good receiver. So are they going to be able to take advantage of that, or are they going to lean on what they do, which is lean on Leak? And Leak still, from what I read, was still showing signs of that ankle sprain last week. He's not apparently fully healed yet. Should be another week, and maybe he's a little bit more healed. Is that going to be able to carry Page? Will Page be able to get the kind of passing that they need to hurt Vance by having a better run game than what Butler had? That was the one thing Butler really didn't bring to bear, was a strong run game. Vance did.
Davis Cheek actually probably was the leading rusher.
again, big play.
And
Exactly.
Will Jones can scramble, but he's not a threat like a Fetty, obviously.
Right. And I think the reasons that Cheek was able to get that had a lot to do with his receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Now he had to scramble because he got pressure and there may have been coverage, but his receivers were pulling guys away as well.
Yep.
So having those receivers that are skilled in running good routes and or routes, however you want to pronounce it, and that helped him a lot. So,
Yeah.
but bringing the running back to bear in the game really didn't come to play. Now, will it here? That's
Right.
that'll be one of the big questions. At Vance, Fetty didn't run all the plays that he runs when he runs, so they basically stuck to running right at the tight end halfback that was lined up, and
Right.
that was the play. They sealed off just about every time. They didn't run those draws. He didn't really bring that to bear.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jalen Carr, I don't know what happened with him. He was like, I think, one play and that was it last week. So I'm not sure. So there's some offense that Vance did not bring to bear. Hall, for example, he was playing with an injury, and thus a lot of you don't know that, but he was the reason Fetty was able to score because he was sealing that end off every time.
Excellent job.
Exactly. So a little bit healthier this coming week. Maybe there's some more offense they can bring to bear. So I think it's going to be interesting to see again. We're going to have a lot of wind. So
Good point.
Is that going to impact this passing game? Are both teams going to be forced to going more to their run games? How does that weather? It's going to be cold too, but the wind. I think it's an intriguing ball game. One of the things that I believe here, and I'm starting to see it, and as I reflect back, and I saw someone talk about, Brand's got it. I think this team might have it.
You do get a feeling just being around them, and, you've been there a couple times. I've been there a couple times. It's things like that happen in the fourth quarter. They just don't happen,
Right.
Like Brand said in the interview, you take a little luck, and sometimes, it's you got the right combination of luck, skill, and coaching, and heart.
I was telling someone.
Yeah,
I was telling someone yesterday that you go back and you look at the Myers Park game. Myers Park, great coach, had a great coaching effort, just absolutely, and players and everybody. But as you really think about it, they were not destined to win the game. It was not because of their lack of abilities or anything. It's just almost like there's something mystical around them that's taking place. So,
and you go back to the beginning of this season. I remember when I visited Vance and I talked to Coach Brand and those guys and talked about getting over the hump. Sometimes you have to go through that step process, and then when it's your time, it just happens.
Well, the thing
might be it.
It may be. The thing about the hump is really, when it comes down to it, is you're just get yourself to be a better team. And getting yourself to be a better team is mentally, physically, it's all these things. And mentally is probably the biggest thing. And that's one of the things this team has this year, say compared to last year's, was a mental disaster almost. And this year is just the opposite.
Yeah.
So.
And I tell you, if you're Page, home field, they'll have a nice home crowd, I'm sure.
I would expect.
It's always a big environment up there. But, you got a team coming in that they're really believing.
Yep.
And when you got belief with talent and coaching and family, we saw that after the game. It was beautiful to see. You got something special, and you can't discount these guys. They're not the big name that you're used to hearing with Butler and Mallard Creek, but you got to take them serious. And, they're like Coach Brand said, they're going to be there on time, and they're going to get off the bus, and they're going to be ready to play football.
So what you got to do is you got to get up early and try to get up big early. That's your best. Your best weapon is to come out sharp and get up early. In fact, it might even be one where you consider, if you win the opening toss, you take the ball first, because I really do believe you want to get these guys down early, not late, not try to fight with them late. But I don't know. They showed they could come back and
that's the one. They're not going to quit.
Yeah,
that's the one thing. Now the thing is with Page, the one advantage I think they really do have is they have been having second halves to kind of rest.
Yeah.
In their first 3 playoff games, they've pretty much blown out their opponents in the second half. Now, that's a good thing on one side, but second part of that, you're going to have to play a 4-quarter game. And you haven't done that in a while. It can be a shock to the system.
Yeah, so Vance has had 3 tough games.
Yeah.
Good, tough opponents, and Page is not. And that's got a lot of different ways that can go. You could say, well, it's going to wear on Vance, and of course, there's a lot of beating that's gone on their bodies, et cetera, over the last 3 weeks in the playoffs. Not quite so much for Page, and is that a factor? Didn't seem to be a factor at the end of the game Friday night.
It seemed like they got stronger.
So,
if anything,
right,
in terms of running the football and everything.
Yeah. Or the team that got weaker was Butler, and who had a tough game the week before,
right,
against Mallard Creek. So I think it's going to be. I just really believe it's going to be an interesting ball game. I really do. What's the report say? You want to say something while I'm looking?
Yeah, I saw Page in the summertime at the 7-on-7 at Powerade. And I was impressed with him. Will Jones, this is his senior year, and I'll tell you right now, he's a leader. And I'm really impressed with how he throws the ball. He doesn't get enough credit for his ability to run the football either. But they have good receivers that run really good routes. That's one of the big things I noticed in that 7-on-7. And they can be a very emotional team. And once they get going and they get fired up, that's going to be hard to stop. Their success is not a fluke, for sure.
48-40. Vance is the prediction. So 1 score, a TD, and a 2-point conversion is what the projected difference is. So, it's going to be another overtime game. Vance has had 2 so far in the playoffs.
You're going to be there, right?
I know I'm going to be there.
He's going to be there.
I know they don't want it. They told me, Dale, stop wishing for overtime games. I wanted overtime games in the last 2 games. So, hey, stop wishing for it. But it looks like we might. All right. Well, come tell us what you think, and let us know what you thought about the game afterwards. Thank you.
Some joy,
Sweet
memories
memories you
are
gave
made of this.
can't beat the memories you gave me.
Don't
Sweet